no heroes. No heroes. No heroes, baby.
Welcome, guys. We are back for round 5. This was already asked in the chat. Also, before I continue, yes, it is the regional EU regional. It's actually the second online regional we had yesterday, 1-2. And for round 5, I picked one of my decks, that I like, which is SABO, red SABO. Okay, red and yellow SABO from Saturday, and he's gonna be facing NEWGATE. Ben, what is your thoughts about this matchup?
Yeah, this could be really interesting. It's gonna go, I think, either one of two ways. It'll either be NEWGATE really overpowering the red yellow SABO player, or if SABO is afforded that time, then we could start to see some really interesting things happen, especially as well depending on how much the Whitebeard player has tested this matchup, because I know that there are situations where SABO, with its healing potential, can just get so carried away. I think I saw a picture from a tournament in person last week that said that a SABO player didn't get attacked at life at all, so they managed to heal up to 23 life. So typically, if you're staying at 5 life throughout a game, you're going to be in a pretty good spot. 6 or 7, okay, it's potentially manageable if you've got some double attack characters or leaders going in there if you're playing Yamato. 23 just feels a little bit out of reach. But I
think that's just at this point just a flex on the ability of SABO. No. I think depends on the game set. If I would be at 6 or 7 life and my opponent is not looking to attack my life and give me the triggers, I would just ask how much cards they have in their deck and just leave it there. If it comes to time, like, I will be favored. So it's been asked in the chat, what game are we gonna play? So we usually just show X and O's, and we are this time displaying a SABO against NEWGATE. So I think the players are still setting up. So yeah, they are still setting up. So I will give my 2 cents on this matchup. Well, it is, in my opinion, just you put your brothers on the board. You are waiting until 3, and you just check and you go. But there's one caveat. Since since NEWGATE has 6 life, or when he starts 5, then your triggers are not really gonna come into effect. Kikinojo is not gonna trigger out. Neko is not gonna trigger out at the early stages. So if possible, you would want to defend those kind of swings in the early game, so you can make sure that at the time you want to take life, you can trigger them out. But we're gonna go right into the match. I think both players are set up. Let's see if my prophecy is gonna be fulfilled. And I think our player is mistaking that he is 5 life leader, because you know what, let's not mind it. So I'm interested who's gonna go first. I don't even know if SABO wins the dice roll that he wants to go first. I would assume so, just to push some damage.
Yeah, it's a weird matchup to try and navigate. I mean, we said earlier when Whitebeard or NEWGATE was on as well, that it's a real difficult kind of deck, and it always has been, to try and sort of attack into. Obviously, with it being a natural 6k leader, there's only a handful of those that exist in the game. So being able to attach the necessary Don or the necessary sort of power applications to get to that point is always really interesting. Now, the one beautiful thing about SABO is that it cares about its characters being 7,000 power or more. So hopefully we should see a little bit of aggression from SABO. as it looks like we're underway.
Yeah. So SABO goes second. I mean, there's one good thing about SABO in this situation. His leader ability buffing one of your units on board to by 2k just helps them to get over the 6k fence that you need for NEWGATE. And also him needing to attach one Dawn anyways, well, it just makes it easier. So we're gonna have a Hiyori, alright, taking one from the bottom and placing a card on top, considering that NEWGATE is at 5 life right now. I would assume it's not gonna be Kikunocho unless he has something in plan that I don't have in plan. You know, and the NEWGATE player swinging for 8, probably leaving one Dawn open probably for the army. And oh wow, it is
Perospero.
it is nah, you know what? I was not no, you know
Stunned silence from my co-caster as Perospero trashes away another Perospero to pay for the cost of the trigger effect being activated. Ezo will actually be the card that's followed up with, as opposed to the Nami. So looks like this is going to be a more Whitebeard tribal focused version of Edward NEWGATE, as there is the big 9 cost that's fetched as well from that search. So interesting to see there that they've decided to go with the Whitebeard package as opposed to, at least for what we can see right now, the Straw Hat package. Have you recovered over there for the?
I was about to say
trigger?
I was so confused. I was like, all right, he put a Satori on top for sure. It must be Satori. And then I see Perospero and I'm like, is he playing Big Mom SABO like for real this time? Like really? That is funny. But like, because we don't look at their deck list, so I was really surprised by that, and I would assume everybody in chat is too. Also, the Izzo being played instead of the Nami that I expected. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's gonna be a tribal deck. So how much? Yeah. So he's gonna swing 6 into. But just to give my 2 cents on this, right? I don't hate Perospero in SABO, but the thing is, Perospero is a card that you don't really want to. All right, we're gonna counter by 1. That you want to put back on your life. Just because you need to pay a card to put him out, and then you're losing cards in hand, which to me does not sound really good. And then his effect on searching the top 3 cards after he's KO'd, I mean, it would require you to have a certain amount of cards in your deck already that are Big Mom pirates that is even worth it, because otherwise it just bottom decks 3 good cards that you actually need.
Yeah,
but
it's an interesting choice. I mean, obviously it is one thing that it definitely is another easy SABO target, as we just saw there, the leader effect being utilized, the power bonus not really mattering in this scenario from the leader granting 2k to something else, but does just mean that he's able to go back up and sit at 4 life. Obviously important when you've got 6k, now 7k with that 1 Don attached underneath it, attacks coming in from your leader so frequently. So I think I can understand some of the theory behind it, but yeah, definitely interesting, especially if that on KO effect does end up at being activated through this game.
I mean, considering that he's facing red, and there goes the Satori from hand. Considering that he's playing against red, it's not likely, but however, if you face cards like, or decks like Moya, Sakazuki, being a free cost that, you know, needs to pay something to be even played out of life to begin with, is, in my opinion, a costly, you know, price to pay. considering that you have so many cards that you can just, like SABO being a deck that wants to just, put Kikunochos, Nekos in their life, play out small aces, play out rush monkey the ruffies, and just attack relentlessly, trying to stay afloat. I think you want to have every card that you can in your hand. And SABO doesn't run a lot of bricks. I mean, you could consider Ace is a brick, Kitten Killer is a brick, but in my opinion, since you can just heal yourself every turn if you need to, and those cards are rush cards, playing them out, paying 4 or 5 is fine. But he is 5 I was about to say 4-0, so maybe I'm gonna be lectured. I was also wrong about Black Yellow Ruffy yesterday, so I might as well be quiet and just see how people are cooking.
Let them cook, as here is that Kikunojo now hitting the board. The last Don looks like it's going to be attached underneath it. In fact, we're going to put it onto life with effects, just boosting it up to make it in range. And now here is that Perispero that is being turned sideways and attack for 7. Draw out a guard point from the Whitebeard hand.
And that should basically end the turn, I would assume.
It will do.
Alright, so the NEWGATE player should be at 7. Yeah, he should be at 7 right now.
Yep.
So he's probably gonna try to protect that last life of his, so he can play out the NEWGATE. But 8k leader is a high number, considering there's Kitten Killer, there's ways to just buff it. Tough. And with 7k on Perispero right now, you cannot easily swing over it. I mean, you can attach Dawn onto NEWGATE and swing over it, but then if you can counter that one out, your Ruffy that you want to play out is not doing anything for you. And I think there's no card that can easily, efficiently remove that Perispero, so he's gonna stay at least for this turn.
Yeah, not unless you're deciding to go all the way back to the beginnings of One Piece and start running things like Jet Pistol to just really make sure you're KOing things. But obviously, with it being so expensive and there being so many other options, especially in a NEWGATE deck, I can't remember the last time actually thinking about it that I've seen a Jet Pistol get played down. So it's probably going to stick around for a little bit longer. The question will be about whether we attack life or try and do that board mitigation, which is always a real difficult dance to try and engage in when you're playing against this SABO deck, as mentioned earlier. If you don't start attacking life, you get too afraid to attack life, they just continue to heal and get up to the ridiculous healing numbers, at least with the potential to. If you clear the board, then obviously there's a few more less attacks that are coming your way immediately next turn, but it still means that you could be leaving yourself open and vulnerable. So difficult decisions.
I mean, in my opinion, it's not even an option to attack life. That's just that Kikunojo that he played out for 4. It's gonna stay for a long time. But we see the rush ace and giving it minus. Is it minus? Oh, yeah, okay. -3, making him a 4, and then the leader swings into him. Right. So let's see if it's not gonna whiff. If it's not gonna whiff, I will be quiet for the rest of the day.
Well, he's having a look, and it whiffs.
Alright. Okay. I was about to say, I'm like, if his entire deck is Big Mom Pirates, and well, so I guess I'm not gonna be commentating for the rest of the day. But we see the ace not swinging into the SABO leader, so not giving him the value, and also deactivating the rush ace. So the only rush card that he can. That they're not for sure. They're not for real, right? They played out Big Mom.
We have a 7-cost Big Mum that has hit the board, elected to heal 1. There was the decision made by
And they're gonna
the
put
Newgate
the Big
player.
Mom on. Oh my lord. You know what? Nah. You know what? I've seen it all. I am done. I am done. So we are now going to the world where, okay, he's not healing it. I was about to say if he's healing it and go to 5, I'm like, whew, that's tough. But that Big Mom is just gonna be like a life insurance for now. And Newgate doesn't really have a reason to swing into life right now. Like he wants to play the 9 cost, right? But he's tapping himself out, and the Lin is there. So if he's gonna tap himself out, he doesn't have any relic beams, no guard points, nothing. So if for whatever reason the SABO player just attaches Tendon to Lin, it is over. There's nothing you can do. So that Lin came in clutch. I need to admit, however, I'm still flabbergasted that there's even a Lin on the board. I did not expect that. I was like joking. If he found the Lin of the past search, I would have been quiet for the rest of the day. I would have not
fine. He didn't need to find it because it was in his hand the whole time. So we were all Gucci. As you're right, this is a really difficult situation that the Whitebeard player has found themselves in, because like you say, there is the option here if Don get committed in heavy amounts and in heavy ways, that we just power up that Big Mum and just attack and hope that all the cards in hand aren't 2Ks or anything like that. We are going to go with the Whitebeard, though.
But yeah, I was about to say the Whitebeard player is at 9 done. He cannot have, he needs to tap all out his done. So he's swinging at 8. If I'm SABO, I would just look into, and
it's a Neko.
It's a oh Jesus Christ.
It's a Neko that was healed off the Big Mum.
I've seen it all.
Oh, unbelievable. So now, just deciding about whether he really wants to attack with the ace.
I was about to say, if he swings with ace, brings out to Kikunojo, then Kikunojo's on board, and then the SABO player can just do 3 on leader, like 3 down on leader, so he's an 8k, he can swing for 8. The remaining on Big Mom, swing with Big Mom. Yeah, I was supposed to say that would not be a wise choice. No. And then put Big Man into life.
Plus
and
2. Then swing again.
Plus 2, yeah. But now you can just. Oh, I forgot. Wait, he's not losing his last life. I'm sorry.
Yeah. 8k later as well. Yeah.
In that case, I think in that case I would just go for bot. Like attach it on to SABO, put my remaining things on Neko, and just attack ace.
Attack that way, yeah.
And just control the board, and then put Neko back on top, so he is always there and chilling and protecting me. And just that's one way. Or you can just apply pressure, because if it's gonna be another 9 cost on the side of Newgate next turn, it's tough.
Yeah, difficult decisions. I mean, the one thing that our SABO player has in the back of the mind right now is that the one Newgate you mentioning there about like going back to back Newgate, the 1 9 cost that has been played down was the one that was revealed from Edo.
That's true.
So that's at the moment, at the very least, in the limited information that obviously not only he has but we have as well, that's the only Newgate that's coming. Obviously, you can try and play around the possibility of a second 9 drop, but it is very, very difficult. Yeah.
So I see Freedom being assembled. So I would assume he's planning on attaching at least the Freedom on Sabo, so Sabo can at least poke for 8 onto the Newgate. And then with the remaining 7, no
We're gonna
way.
Big Mom again.
No way. Oh my lord. Nah. You know, I wish the people would see my reaction because this is insanity. Like imagine you are the Newgate player thinking, all right, I got 1 life ready. And then this just happens to you.
Dude, you let them have. Sabo is going to be allowed to heal.
This is straight up insanity.
And the brilliant thing is that the Lin that was just played down, if we attach those 3 Don onto Sabo, we can heal that Lin straight back into life as well. Put the 2k onto the other one.
True.
And attack for, what would it be, 9?
So,
Oh no, 10 with a 2k boost if we go that route.
I think they're gonna do that. I actually think he's gonna, like, I have something in my heart is telling me that he's gonna countering with an army.
Yep.
And okay. Oh my lord, he's
wow. It's just gonna attack with the available Lin at 8k, again trying to poke and trying to get 1 extra card of counter out of the Newgate player's hand.
You know what's the worst part of all of this? It's a lose-lose situation. Because if the Newgate player is gonna play out another 9-beard and swings and gets the Lin back that he just put back on top, he's just gonna do the same thing over again.
Yeah. As there is the effect declared, the attacking Lin is sent back into life, which I actually understand in terms of wanting to just make sure that you're keeping that safe with the character Newgate on board as well, protecting that one from being attacked into. So Sabo heals up to 5 life, and Edward Newgate is in a bit of a predicament, especially with that 2k being worn off.
That's true, but there's one thing I am like just realizing in maybe I mentioned it. I didn't mention it earlier, and I mistake it. But since the Big Mom cannot swing, right, and she's pretty much fine, that 2k buff could have been also on Nico to protect it from the combo of the Newgate playing another 7-cost ace to reduce it by 3 to making it a 2-cost, and then nagging it down with the Newgate's ability to swing, attach to Dawn, and killing a 3-cost. No, not 3-cost. 3k power body. That could be a way to clear the Nico. Potentially.
Yeah, no, it's a very good point. It's a very good point.
So I would have loved if that would happen, but I just realized it after he turned plus. So I'm not saying I would have done the same.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those plays that you've got to be looking out for, and you've got to be, like you say, trying to prepare and play around any future possible second aces.
Exactly.
Which, given that there's one on the board right now, the chances of it, they're fair, but not, I think, enough where the Sabo player's gone, okay, I desperately need to play around this, or just like yourself,
it looks like
that 1 second too late.
I was about to say, if he's gonna be Otama coming down to give minus 2k, it would also be right now really sad, but okay, picking up a 2k counter, that's a fair fight.
Yeah, and I think what this is honestly signaling here is that from the Newgate player's perspective, I need to prepare myself for some big attacks coming through. So finding the extra 2k in this situation is just going to help me out massively as the Lin is taken to hand from the attack.
There's no way he's going to play a second 9-cost, right? He's not doing that, right?
I don't know. We're going to attack first with the leader. 6k at life will be taken.
But now he's
trigger.
But now he's just telling him that, hey, you don't want to swing with your 9-cost. because if you do, Kikunocho's out, and then I'm just flooding my board. And right now, I don't believe of the combo of playing an ace and removing Neko, because it would be really, really good. It would be really efficient. But deciding to keep the card, maybe another pair of throw, and he did want to dispatch the Linden just in case there's gonna be another 9-beard. But alright.
There is
Going
the
in.
attack, and here is the Kikunojo.
Now I feel like now the possibilities of a 9-cost beard is out of the window.
Hidden Killer instead will rush in.
So he's gonna go and apply pressure. Alright. Fair point. Let's see. Kids and Killer swing for 7. I think we are at a point where SABO is inclined to counter out. Going down to 1 life is pretty unnecessary. 2 is the sweet spot where you want to be, because then you can enable rush ace and do some shenanigans with that.
I think you're just continuing the SABO player to count up and see what potential other attacks that are gonna come their way, what they can potentially defend. We're gonna take the life and trigger Sanji.
I'm just waiting for the 1-cost pudding to be revealed. So trashing the Linlin that is pretty much useless. Playing out Marco, and with 1 done up, passing the turn. But
that's purely just to try and give some more breathing room, give some more space there. Obviously, the
Oh.
blocker has the ability to recur itself as well if there's a Whitebeard Pirates card sent into the Whitebeard Pirates event sent to the discard.
it's gonna be tapped, right?
Yes, yeah, it does have to be. It comes back in rested. And then, of course, we did see the 2K, the Sanji gets searched for from Nami. 1 Don available, signaling either Rad Beam or Guard Point. So certainly plenty of defensive options here for our Newgate player. Can SABO, though, mount enough of an attack to potentially close this game out?
Well, that's a big question. Me personally, I would. Medical Beam is just one thing, like a big out. The question is, how much cards does the 9 the Newgate player have in hand?
Looks like a fair few. We're going to counter the first attack away with that was like super rare Marco.
Yeah, fair.
So that puts obviously SABO leader online with the 1 done underneath it as well. Still 9 to work with, and that effect to activate.
Chat is mentioning though a good fact that Marco's on the Neko's on the board. So what can happen is if they want to be efficient. Oh, but they only swing with 6. I was about to say there is a line to be taken where you poke again with a Kikunocho for 7, right? Put her into your top life and buff Nekomomo. Attach 2 Don under him, clear the blocker, and just swing with the big big body of Linlin. And if you can come out of that with like the Red Beam and the 2Ks, then you just swing with the remaining Linlin and hope that it will be enough. And maybe leaving 1 Don open to even poke with Sanji again. But yeah, no, that line was not being taken. Maybe let's see. Maybe I'm missing out on something. We have 2 Don being attached, and we have a Linlin on board that can.
We've still got the leader effect to.
Yeah.
It's all going to be about what the SABO player wants on the top of their life. We're going to attack with Sanji.
Also, 6. But that's not enough. think that was I think the line of clearing the blocker with Nekomamushi was the best play because poking for 7, like looking at Don investment, you poke with 6, with Sabo because you need 1 Don attached anyways. You go 7 with Kiko.
Reject.
Oh,
We're gonna reject the blocker away.
I forgot about that card.
Reject the blocker away. We're gonna stick the remaining Don underneath Kikunojo to attach. We're putting 2.
So it's gonna be 8.
8k
But
swing into life.
That's still not efficient enough.
Well, you've still got Sabo effect to activate as well.
That's not enough.
So we beam out of that one.
Yeah, you heal with Neko. I think with that 4 Don that you attached, you could have cleared Marco in a more efficient manner. Attach 2 Don on Neko instead. A swing with 7 with Kikunocho, and
Doesn't
then
matter,
just
though.
put everything. It doesn't matter though.
though.
All right.
Whitebeard scoops it up.
That is still a win, and now we have a 5-0 Sabo. So I'm looking forward to seeing him in the later stages. I mean, okay, it didn't matter in that moment, but I think considering the situations, in a place like this, in a situation like this, you want to be optimizing your plays and stuff like earlier, like I mentioned, which I didn't realize either way myself early enough, but I digress. With the buffing the Neko instead of the Big Mom to save it for a potential ace play or like a timer play into NEWGATE swing. But efficiency doesn't mean is always the best place. You know, he won either way. So congrats to Sabo, making it even as high as being 5-0 right now. Because I have a feeling I would not be as good with the deck as he is. But, you know, I'm choosing to take the easy route and play Law instead of playing Sabo. So yeah, but it was a really interesting game, like with a lot of surprises, seeing the Persper, which I questioned at the beginning. I'm like, there's no way in hell he's playing Big Mom Pirates in Sabo, but I've been wrong, you know, seeing that against a situation like NEWGATE, it was it's a do or die situation. And yeah, that's my thoughts for the round. Ben, do you have anything else?
Big Mum Pirates are just really, really good cards, and it finds out and figures out that, you know, if you put them into a Sabo deck that cares about healing and you've got a card in it that says, hey, let me make my opponent make a really difficult decision to either give me an extra work towards essentially my win condition, or put you even further behind than you already are at this point in the game, that's pretty good. So I think some spice here for our players in round 5, and it's paying off. 5-0 Red Yellow Sabo.
Definitely. I need to take a look at the list after all this is over. Like that list that needs to be studied. So yeah, we're gonna have a quick 5-minute break. I quickly want to mention or shout out to Pix46 for the Prime sub. Appreciate it. I hope you will enjoy the emote and enjoy the VOD after the stream. For everybody else, we're gonna be back in 5 minutes with round 6, hopefully with something interesting. But we are on the lookout. So see you then.